Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Friday morning out here in Atlanta where I am. If you are catching this in the afternoon or evening or good afternoon. If you don't know me by now, my name is Tamika Michelle Johnson, and I am an attorney, dating expert, and founder of Platinum Connections. And today I wanted to come on for my single women and single professional women specifically. And those are the ones that, again, are successful in their career, their profession, their business, but are struggling and are frustrated in dating and relationships. And I'm coming on because a little while ago I was on Facebook. And you know how Facebook gives you your memories, like, oh, this happened a year ago, or 3 years ago, or 7 years ago. And I saw a pop up for a memory of 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, I was in a totally different place, professionally and personally, in love and marriage and kids and all that. 5 years ago, I was 39, almost 40. I was a single mother to a 14-year-old daughter. And I was recently out of a 10-year long-term relationship. If you know anything about my story, you know I was in a relationship that was kind of on again, off again. And so we had split by this time. We split over the summer of 2016. And I was back in the dating game. And in my coaching program, I have a 5-step transformation process where we're getting you from successful and single to marvelous and married. And in step 4, which is again where I was at this time 5 years ago, it was resisting the temptation to take all the information and knowledge that you learned in step 3 and learning how to attract quality men and connect with them. So I was past that part, but it was step 4, and step 4 is really kind of dating and dating around and not focusing on one person. It's enjoying dating and getting to know yourself in dating, practicing dating, and really figuring out, what you want and from whom, and letting your prospects step up their game and showing you what they have to offer, because we know what we have to offer. We need them to realize what we have to offer, and they have to step up their game. 5 years ago, gosh, I was dating a handful of men. At this point, I had reconnected with my now husband, but we weren't serious. We weren't even dating on a consistent basis. We were talking every once in a while. We'd go out every once in a while. And the other men that I had connected with, they definitely were a higher caliber of men than I used to date in the past. And so because I just gotten out of a relationship, I wasn't really rushing for anything as far as a relationship or anything like that. But it was lonely at the same time, right? Because I wasn't physical. I wasn't sleeping with, different people. And so I did dates during the day, primarily because I didn't want to waste a lot of time getting a babysitter, changing my schedule to have someone watch my daughter, to go on a date if this wasn't going to work. So I did a lot of dating during the day. And I resolved myself at this age, at 39, that I was not going to have any more children. And I thought that for several reasons. One, just like many women here, at about 35, it gets a lot harder to conceive, to have children. And if you do have children, the risk of miscarriage is higher, defects are higher, and all of that. So I resolved myself to saying that I wasn't going to have any more children, even though I wanted more. And I was okay with that. The other reason I had resolved myself to that was because I usually dated a little bit older, men who were a little bit older, and 9 times out of 10, the men already had children in their mid to late 40s, and they didn't want to have any more children. And so I was good. I was at a place I accepted that fact. The other part of being 39 is single, and thinking that you have, everything together, and just having ups and downs, back and forth issues with dating. You kind of, and you see not just you, but your other friends and associates who are in a similar situation as you, who are succeeding professionally, but failing in the relationship department. Maybe I'm just going to be alone for the rest of my life. Well, I decided, well, if I was going to be alone for the rest of my life and not get married, that at least I can have a good network of potential partners that I was dating or seeing, and have fun and enjoy dating. And that's kind of what I was doing for the most part. But I know at the same time, it gets hard, right? It's hard being single, you know, going to bed every night by yourself. And it's frustrating, right? And I have to say, I went through my process that I take other women through. And from 39 at that time, 5 years ago, 39, a little over a year after that, implementing the strategies that I have other women go through. I was married at 41, and we had our first son together later on that year at 41. Healthy baby, naturally conceived. And we had our second son less than 2 years after that when I was 43. Healthy baby, naturally conceived. So I really wanted to just give women, single women, encouragement that it can happen. I know we try to reach that age of, or not, we try to reach the age, we strive to be married before 40, because 40 seems old, right? And we think like it's the end, or it's never gonna happen if we reach 40. Like, we're not gonna have kids, we're not gonna get married, or at least not to good men, right? Or at least not have that family that we thought we were gonna have with the mom, the dad, the kids married and all that. And it's possible. But it is a mindset shift that you have to go through. And in later videos, we'll talk about settling. What is settling? What's not settling? Submission. What is submission? Compromising. Dating. Sex while dating. Like all of that stuff. But it is possible. You don't have to rush when you're about to reach 40 to try to have a baby, just to get with someone, just so you can have a baby, someone that you know. Reconnect with your ex to see if you all can have a baby together, just for the sake of having a child, because that's what you want. It's selfish. If I'm going to be honest, you're doing it just for you, and it's not necessarily in the best interest of your child to do it that way. It is possible to have healthy babies, conceive naturally. Sometimes you need help though. Sometimes you need assistance, and that's okay as well. Again, if any of you know my story, I have a pregnancy after 40 group that I founded a couple years ago. We've got about 8,000 members in there. Women having babies well into their late 40s. Every week, every Friday, we have an announcement of women who have had babies. Again, 40 and up. If you're interested in that, definitely join. If you're 39 and over. And it is possible to meet good men. I love my husband. And not only do I love him, I actually like him. Like, I really, really like him. We have a great relationship. And after meeting him 14 years before that, we actually met when I was like 26, in my 20s. And I wasn't ready then. I was nowhere near where I needed to be mentally to sustain a relationship. I'm pretty sure I'd messed it up back then. But it's amazing to see the transformation from when we first met to when we actually got married and had kids and now have a family. I love my relationship. Now, is anything perfect? Is it perfect? Because nothing's perfect. We have issues, or there are issues just like everyone else has issues, but ultimately we are really good friends in our relationship, and we're partners, and we have fun. So again, I'm not going to hold you up too much longer, but I always say to women, you know, we invest, professional women, successful women, we invest in our education. We invest in our businesses. We invest in homes and retirement accounts. And we develop this persona of, well, I have been successful and I can do this. And then the relationship department is just totally different. But you're determined, I'm going to figure it out on my own. But you didn't with your education. You didn't with business. You sought help, or you sought assistance with someone else. And I'm a big fan or supporter, proponent of therapy for one. I'm not a therapist. But if you're struggling in dating and relationships, a dating coach, whether it's me or someone else, there's definitely some things that we need to look at as women, successful Black women, and how we approach dating and relationships, because we were not raised, many of us, to know how to have successful relationships. We were taught what not to do. We were taught not to submit to a man. We were taught not to have sex with a man or boy or guys growing up. We were taught to get good grades, go to school, make a lot of money, be well-traveled, be accomplished, be successful. But we weren't taught how to be in relationships. My parents were married for 51 years before my father passed earlier this year. It was not a great relationship. It was stable for us growing up, but it was not the relationship that I strive to have, or I desire to have, or I'd want anyone to have. You know, they stayed for us, for the kids, and that was great. Like I commend my parents for providing the lifestyle that we grew up in. But relationship-wise, they didn't have a great relationship. And it was important for me to have a great relationship. And although I went through a long period of time where I didn't have a great relationship for 10 years, I do now. And you can have one as well. Visit the website, myplatinumconnections.com. We have trainings and workshops and singles events, and we have coaching. And for those who are a little bit more discreet, we have matchmaking services. Especially if you are in the public eye, you're, you know, again, you could be an attorney, you could be a doctor, you could be a professor, you can be a local celebrity. You kind of want to keep it a little bit more intimate. We have those services as well. So that's it for today. I will be back with another video. Again, I'm so excited about this journey and finally launching Platinum Connections officially, which is for highly successful women that I term as bosses by day but single by night, and can transforming your approach to dating and relationships to attract and connect with other quality partners for long-term relationships. If you're catching this on Friday, have a good weekend. If it's the weekend, have a great weekend. It's amazing out here today where I am. So enjoy the day, and I will see you next time. Again, visit us, the website, myplatinumconnections.com. I'll see you next time.